Hey guys, welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, we're talking about a product that the online skincare community are referring to as a world first in anti-aging. This is the Transparent Lab CUGF solution. This combines copper peptides, growth factors, and a host of other anti-aging ingredients, and to say it's gone viral is an understatement. It's sold out in less than 24 hours, and now there's supposed to be a 2,000 person plus waitlist. People waiting to get their hands on this product, but is it really that revolutionary? Is this super affordable serum something we should all be reaching for and using in our skincare routines, or might there be better options on the market? We're going to unpack it all in today's video, so sit back, relax, let's talk a world first in anti-aging skincare. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you my hot take on this super viral product. And whilst there's quite a lot of sponsored content doing the rounds online about this serum, this video isn't one of them. Because here on Mad About Skin, you will never see a sponsorship or a paid partnership, because I pride myself on my independence, turning down that coin so I can speak from the heart and not the wallet. So if you appreciate truly independent skincare advice and recommendations, well, you've come to the right place. And as an independent content creator, one of the easiest ways of supporting me is by reaching down and giving the video a big thumbs up and a like. The more likes a video gets, the more widely YouTube will distribute it on its platform. So it just means as many people as possible can discover our fabulous Mad About Skin family. And honestly, for that, I am so grateful. Now, I've got a lot to say when it comes to this product, so I think it's time we just cut that waffle and delve straight on in. So as I said earlier, the product in question is the Transparent Lab CUGF solution. This is a serum which retails for €19, which with a rough calculation is about £18, about $20. So definitely super affordable and fitting into that drugstore priced category. This combines copper peptides with growth factors and a whole host of other anti-aging ingredients. And to say that the online skincare community are losing their mind over this product is an understatement. People are singing its praises as being a world first in anti-aging and saying that this is something that really could be transformative when it comes to our routines. I have some hot takes on those particular claims I'm going to come on to later in the video, but we're going to talk about what the product is, the pros, the cons, and then at the end of the video, because this is actually sold out and on waitlist, I have got some other alternatives that you might want to consider in the meantime, and I've listed and linked all of those at the end. So if you wanted to jump to one section of the video over another, there's timestamps down in the description box below, so you can use those to navigate your way through. So this serum contains a 1% concentration of copper peptides and a 5% concentration of growth factors. You've also got some really nice fermented ingredients here, which are going to help with hydration and plumping the skin. And you've got a whole host of amino acids, which are fantastic. They're like the building blocks of anti-aging, and amino acids are some of my favorite ingredients to incorporate into my routine. And you've got them in various different forms and quite high concentrations too. It's definitely going to give instant hydration and plumping. And in the long term, the ingredients that they've used really well help with collagen production and minimizing the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles. Where I would say is I don't think this is a world first, because this isn't the first product that's used copper peptides and growth factors together. Lots on the market do exist, but I think this is the first product to do so at this price point. So I think this is why it became so popular on launch, and like I say, sold out within 24 hours, because it's really the first growth factors and copper peptides combined formula that's accessible at around the $20 price point, with copper peptides usually retailing at much higher prices, which means it can be quite exclusatory for people that are looking to shop on a budget or maybe not splurge as much when it comes to their own skincare routines. I think the transparency that the brand have employed with this as well is exemplary. It's kind of in the name, Transparent Lab. They put everything you need to know in terms of concentrations, how to use, what each ingredient does, all clearly on their website, which again, I definitely applaud. I think more brands should be doing this, and Transparent Lab are really leading the way. There has, however, been a lot of paid partnerships and sponsorship around this product, which is why I think the hype has just grown and grown and grown. This isn't my preferred method of getting the message out there. I prefer word of mouth, where things are really organically recommended and kind of grow through popularity and that word of mouth approach rather than sponsorships. But, you know, no shade to the brand for doing this, because most skincare brands out there do employ some element of sponsorship or paid endorsement. But I think that's what's really turbocharged the popularity of the product. If I was to focus on the positives, if we look at the pros of using this first, because I always like to get those positive vibes up front. I think first and foremost, the price point unbeatable when it comes to copper peptides and growth factors together. Match made in heaven, because both of these ingredients focus down on boosting collagen and elastin, so really complement one another. And for this price point, I don't think there's anything comparable on the market, which is probably the reason it's so popular. Also, it's going to help you to streamline. Most of us will have a copper peptide serum and a growth factor serum in our skincare routines, where you can get a 2-in-1 here, which again makes it even more cost effective because you're not buying 2 serums individually, you're buying a one and done in this at a super accessible price point. I love the concentrations. Copper peptides work best between 1 and 3%. So this, whilst it's on the lower end of that, is still within that range that the data shows is most effective for anti-aging. And the growth factors being in a 5% is relatively high when you look at some of the other competitors on the market. And so you're definitely getting a good dose of anti-aging from this product. And they've really thought about the multi-layered approach to the actives, including those amino acids and those ferments, the antioxidants, to really just further enhance the anti-aging that you're going to see. I also love the fact that this is a pH balanced serum. So this is balanced to the skin's natural pH, meaning that's going to reduce the risk of any sensitivity and irritation. Some copper peptide serums can have a slightly incompatible pH when it comes to our skin, which can trigger some light prickling and sensitivity. You're not going to get that with this, which means it should work for just about every skin type and level of skin sensitivity, which I think is really nice to see. And again, the fact they've been really transparent with that online, I think is to their credit and just further enhances why I think this is such a super popular product. However, there are some things that I think we need to consider, and I don't want to call them cons. I think they're just more like considerations. So this, in terms of its formula, this isn't an encapsulated copper peptides. Because it isn't encapsulated, you are going to have to be careful with what you use it alongside. The brand do make this very explicit and clear on their website, but they recommend avoiding using it alongside low pH exfoliating acids and vitamin C's. They also say to avoid using it alongside certain retinoids, such as tretinoin. That's because if the copper peptides aren't encapsulated, using them alongside these ingredients can denature them, impact the benefits that you're going to see from those copper peptides. It's not dangerous for the skin or anything, it's just going to limit the results that you see. This can be a little bit, I'm going to say a little bit more time consuming in terms of working out how to layer and pair a product like this. So you have to offset up against the fact that it's super inexpensive. There are going to be some limitations in terms of the formulation. You also have to look at the type of growth factors that they're using specifically. Growth factors come in many different forms. There are plant-derived, there are bioengineered, and there are hybrid growth factors. They've used a range of different growth factors in here, but they're not the most effective when it comes to anti-aging. Those are the ones which are most compatible with our skin, the ones that are already present. And if you're going to go down the bioengineered growth factor route, generally you'll have to pay a little bit more in terms of the price point. So there is that offsetting of using slightly less effective growth factors, in my opinion, but to lower the price point of the product to make it more accessible. So there are going to be some growth factor serums on the market that are going to be more potent, pack more of a punch than this one, but they're generally going to cost a little bit more, and you really have to weigh up both of these considerations. Taking in the round, I think this is a fantastic product. I don't think it's a world first. I think this has been done before, but it's certainly a first at this price point, and I'm really glad to see it. Transparent Lab are one of my favorite skincare brands, and I think this is one of the best products from one of my favorite skincare brands, and I will definitely be exploring it more when that waitlist is open and it's back on sale. In the meantime though, I think there are some products that are at least comparable to this or could get around some of the considerations that I mentioned earlier. So first and foremost, we have the Medik8 Liquid Peptides Advanced. This is, to my knowledge, the actual world first. This is the first serum that I'm aware of that combined copper peptides alongside growth factors in the same serum. This is in a different price point to the Transparent Lab ones, but the growth factors that they use are a more enhanced form, so you're going to get greater results. So yes, you're paying a little bit more, but I think you're getting more for paying more, if that makes sense. If your budget will stretch to the Medik8 one, I think it's fantastic, and this is genuinely the first product that used these two ingredients together, so I think does actually deserve the crown as the world first. Not for everyone's price point, but a great option if you want to go down that route. There is, of course, the ordinary multipeptides plus copper peptides solution. very similar price point, and The Ordinary actually have their sale on at the moment, so it's 23% off, which really does bring that price point right down. So it's actually cheaper than the Transparent Lab one, which I'm always in for a sale and for a quick win when it comes to reducing cost. This actually has that 1% concentration of copper peptides. It doesn't have the growth factors, but you could pair this alongside The Ordinary growth factors solution, their GF 15% solution, which is also 23% off. You could pair these two together, and during that sale period, if you buy both of these separately and add them together, it's roughly the same price as that Transparent Lab one, and it's going to give you very similar outcomes in terms of anti-aging, boosting collagen and elastin. Yes, you need 2 serums rather than 1, but while the sale's on, it kind of makes sense, and I think this is a great alternative. You can also mix these two together, so if you wanted to just put a drop of both into the palm of your hand, put them on the skin, apply them as one, you can do that if you're running short of time and you want to streamline things down. That's a hot tip. I wouldn't recommend you do that with every product. You need to check compatibility, but you can with The Ordinary, copper peptides and growth factors. You can mix them together in the palm of your hand and apply them for that one and done approach at a very similar price point. Now, with this one, you are going to, again, have to think of the layering because of the lack of encapsulation. So if you're somebody that doesn't want to have to stress your copper peptides, you want to take the worry out of it. I actually created my own copper peptide serum, which is this. This is the Mad About Skin copper peptides. It's actually a 3% concentration of copper peptides, so a higher strength and potency, and they're encapsulated. So you can use them with your vitamin C, you can use them with your exfoliating acids, with your tretinoin, you can use it with everything else in your skincare routine. So it really takes the stress out of the application of your copper peptides, which I'm all about. I'll do anything for an easy life. The fact you get a higher concentration and it's encapsulated to remove some of the worry and the considerations around layering, it's music to my ears. It doesn't contain growth factors, so you could either pair this with The Ordinary growth factors if you wanted to, or you could find another serum on the market. This is your copper peptide fix, and you can then layer your growth factors in based on whatever is your favorite growth factor serum. And I covered some of my personal favorites in a video, which I'll link up there if you did want to check it out. This is just the best way of getting around that consideration of layering and pairing your copper peptides. And like I say, I'll do anything for an easy life, and this is super affordable. It's currently on 3 for 2, so if you put 3 in your basket when you check out, you'll only actually pay for 2. If you just want to buy one and you just want a standard discount, I've also left a discount code down below for 25% off, which actually makes it more affordable than that Transparent Lab one. So definitely a great option if you're looking for budget-friendly but high potency in your copper peptide options. This is definitely something that I want to see more brands doing, you know, helping us to streamline by combining actives that really work together for anti-aging. I also appreciate a super affordable price point, so Transparent Lab will always have my heart. But do I think this is a world first in terms of anti-aging? I don't. It's been done before, but it's nice to see it done at an affordable and budget-friendly price point, bringing that accessibility forward. And so much has happened in the copper peptides market recently. You know, we have encapsulated options to make life easy. We have budget-friendly and drugstore copper peptides, whereas before we had to spend upwards of $100. Gone are those days. There's some really affordable options, and we now know that we combine growth factors and copper peptides either separately, different serums, or together in the one formula to really turbocharge the anti-aging. I love this Transparent Lab product, but I wouldn't say abandon everything else until that waitlist opens. There are other options on the market which in some instances might work better or easier for certain people and certain people's needs and routines. So hopefully this video has just helped you explore and work out what's right for you. If you've watched it this far, if you're part of that bitter end crew, I want to hear from you. Having watched to this point, what do you think to this Transparent Lab CUGF solution? Is it one that you're going to buy when that waitlist opens? If you are, leave the heart emoji down in the comment section below. Or is this one that you're going to avoid? Have you already got another option that you reach for, another favourite? If that applies to you, leave the cross emoji and state why you're avoiding this one. That way we can see what the true thoughts and opinions of the Mad About Skin community are. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.